Roland, I wanted to ask you a little bit about Siemens' thinking heading into this project. What was it that Siemens was looking to get out of this research endeavor?
For us, it was important to really make sure that we have a view how the Canadian cities and the Canadian cities mindset looks like. Mm-hmm. By interviewing the stakeholders, the city leaders, we got a feeling of how our portfolio, how our technology, how our sustainable solutions going forward could look like in an environment where we really focus on the Canadian cities.
Okay. Now, why go out and ask this level of experts, the people who are actually involved in running infrastructure in the cities? Why were you interested in their perspective?
Because we think that's the right level. It's the level of where the decisions take place. I mean, everybody has to understand that urbanization gathers more people in an urban area. Mm-hmm. They will have constraints in their regular infrastructure needs. There will be some issues, different in different cities, but in some cities, transportation is a very, very hot topic. Mm-hmm. We have water, wastewater, we have security, safety issues, we have healthcare, and the environmental issues. So for us, it's really important when we go around in Canada to really figure out what is the needs, what are the mindsets, and how can we, in a dialogue and a partnership with those customers and also governmental officials, be playing in order to make their life better in each of the cities.
Okay. Now, I know that you've done research of this kind around the world, looking at the big cities around the world. Now you've focused on Canada. I'm wondering, from your perspective, how does Canada stack up in terms of putting a priority on sustainable development?
Surprisingly well, I would say. Yeah. Although I think the perception, the general perception level is a bit lower when it comes to the necessity to focus on sustainability. Mm-hmm. And there I think we can make a contribution by opening up the dialogue and try to figure out and get also our counterparts to understand what we can bring in terms of technology and solutions in order to make their cities more sustainable. So, and again, we know that Canadian per head consume more energy than in average the case is in Europe. However, we need also then to respect that it's a big country with the long distances in between. You have probably in some areas really much more longer commutes, mm-hmm. and it's a climate which is probably then also causing some of the upturns. But I do think that we could consume energy more efficient here mm-hmm. in Canada, and particularly also in cities.
Right. I was interested too in the theme that this is really a competitiveness issue from Siemens' perspective, that we often frame environmentalism as something that we're doing for the earth, some moral component, which of course is there. But you seem to also champion the idea that this is about creating more competitive business sectors as well. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a competition in two ways to see it. I mean, we have that as a business, and we believe strongly that this is the way forward. And the last years of our results have shown that the increasing piece of business which relates to green and green and environmental friendly technology is surpassing the growth of conventional. That gives us a clear view that this is the right way to do. People accept, customers accept those technologies. What about competition? In other sense, is a competition that we also believe that adapting those technologies gives our customers, and by the way also cities, a more competitive edge. Attracting people, attractive business. And then we go into this striking the balance of competitiveness, environmental aspects, which then ultimately leads to a better quality of life. So I think it's two win-win situation, mm-hmm. focusing business that are sustainable versus giving the customers and the cities a more efficient and more sustainable solution. Brings them in a very competitive situation.
All right, great. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.